Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Whoop, whoop. Tango, tango, tango. What's happening, Blacks? Happy Black History Month. Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, Wright, a.k.a. Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct. All the way from Cleveland, I was going to say Cleveland, California. Sure, like, no, it is not Cleveland, California. Cleveland, Ohio, where it is cold. We're trying this again because I thought we were live before, but we wasn't. One day we're going to be in a real studio. We're going to have a real production. We're going to shout out the audience and everything, like the people over on Instagram. What's up, Scholars Brigade and Shalimar Nazir? Oh, I like that name, Shalimar.
Yes, Shalimar.
Right now, baby. That Instagram coming out through. What's up, Twitch family? How y'all doing out there? We got Twitch rocking. And then over in the chat, hold on, sure, before I bring, because we got some, girl, they coming through, sure. They waiting on us. We got Juju in the house.
They want to know.
Trish, we got LB is in the LB that came in like, I'm home from work, I'm chilling. My boss dropped them L's in the chat. Y'all know what time it is. We are excited. And again, it's me, your homegirl Ladosha Wright. And right over there, y'all know who it is. It's the one and only Cheryl Morrow, aka the Hair Oracle. Yeah. Again, what's happening, Blacks? That's right. We're about 74 episodes in, and today is all about the Black History Report, the Cleveland edition. Remember the ticket nightly on the news, okay? We're going to be bringing in Mr. Leroy Sharp. Better than all. Come on, y'all. And Leroy in the junkyard dog. All right, we're going to bring Mr. Leroy Sharp in momentarily. A little bit about Mr. Sharp.
Man,
he has got to be, when we talk about the OG, the original gangster of the hair care products, and the oh my gosh.
Sales master.
Oh, and a barber and a masterful educator. Oh, y'all just you guys are in for a royal treat. It's Black History. Again, welcome to Planet Pluto Pseudo. In case you're wondering, where the hell have I landed? Keep your helmets on because it gets a little funky up in here. So this particular podcast is specifically geared towards licensed professionals and hair aficionados. And what we do here on this podcast is we just bring you the facts, the science, the fun, the tea, you name it, but it's all credible. And today we have real live receipts with Leroy Sharp. He's the former owner, these braces, of Sharp Beauty Supply. It was located in various locations throughout Cleveland. So if you are from Cleveland, you know what time it is. Y'all know who Mr. Sharp is. If you own a hair salon and a barbershop and you don't know who Mr. Sharp is, then you probably ain't doing no hair. I'm just saying, okay?
You wasn't doing no hair.
Because it's a few people he still come out for. I ain't trying to brag, but what's up, Trish? Girl, we about to get y'all some little Black history on. So we're going to have a really, 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 really good time, and we're gonna go down memory lane. Now, the reason why we're doing this, I'm gonna set up. I want to bring Mr. Sharp in because I want him to see what the state of affairs is happening in the beauty industry today by way of Black hair care. Oh shoot, Ron Chini came in. What's up, Ron Chini? We got Atlanta in the house. My boss is in the house. She like happy what is Galentine's Day? I keep seeing that.
What is
that? Does anybody know before we bring Mr. Sharp
boycotting Valentine's or something?
Are we boycotting Valentine's Day? Is that what all the single ladies? All the single ladies. We ain't got no date. We ain't got no date. Okay. All right. It's okay if you ain't got no boo thing. It's all good. Just love yourself. So I have no clue of what Valentine's Day is. Someone is gonna tell us. My girlfriend Susan
somebody's gonna tell us. You heard it all day today.
She was telling me about it last year, but she never told me like what it was. She was about to tell me, but then she had to get off the phone. Yeah, but anyhow, so somebody tell us what Valentine's Day is. Oh my gosh, it's single women Valentine. You better stop it, Shaniqua.
Gals.
Oh, gal, you know. George. Did you tell me about the house again, George? Oh, I am so dumb. Oh, put a dunce hat on my head. You know what, Juju, we just got to get it together. Galentine. It's okay. I have blonde in my hair. What's your stupid power? All right, let's stop being bad. You guys came here today. You guys want to hear the tea on black hair. This is the Black Hair History Report.
I am looking forward to what you're going to ask him.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring in Mr. Sharp. Now, Mr. Sharp, if your last name is Sharp, you know what that means, right? I don't know if I could have lived up to that last name, but I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Sharp lives up to. Look at Cheryl. Cheryl like, you know, I throw my hand on the blade for love. That's how sharp he is. He's so sharp. He'll be like, I throw a grenade. Throw my hand on the blade. Okay, he is truly sharp. So I'm going to go ahead on and bring in the one and only. He is the one and only. He is a legendary educator, legendary barber, legendary entrepreneur. He is the bomb.com. He traded us for Detroit, but it's okay. Okay. So let me get my hand clap together. Hold on. Y'all don't be laughing at me. I see you down there, Juju and Trish and Rashida. Y'all don't laugh at us, okay? All right, okay, because his last name's Sharp. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta get my hold on, y'all. Where's my de facto co-host? Where is Esther when I need her? Okay, put y'all hands, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Take one hand together, the left hand and the right hand, and put it together for the one and only Cleveland original. You can never, I'm talking about if you don't.
Original.
You're gonna need Mr. Sharp in your life. So let me break it in. Here you go, right?
Oh, there he is.
Hercules.
What a good day.
Hercules.
It's so lovely that we could bring so many of us together.
Oh, yes, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Let's jump on in.
Yeah, we're gonna jump head on there. Hold on 1 second here. All right. So Mr. Sharp, we got some lovely people in the chat who are glad to see you now. If you look at all the rounds of applause for you right here, Mr. Sharp. Mr. Sharp was gonna bring out the honeys. I should have known that. What's up, Patty Mackin over on Instagram? With Mr. Sharp. Like I told y'all, Mr. Sharp was fine. When he come in the salon, I'll be like this. Hold on, y'all be like this. It's time, Mr. Sharp. Oh. Hey, Mr. Sharp, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Sharp, can I tell them when I call you, this is what I say? Hey, Mr. Sharp. He goes, hello, Ladosha. I'm like, when I call you, I must want something. Mr. Sharp, can you just say this before I ask you to tell us who you are? Who is your favorite Cleveland customer in 2025? I ain't gonna say I'm gonna say 2025. I am.
You got him on mute.
Do I have him on mute? Hold on, where he at? Can you hear us, Mr. Sharp?
Mr. Sharp. No. Mr. Sharp, you on mute. Look at your screen. Unmuted. Damn.
Can he hear us?
He can hear us because he's talking. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You got your mic muted?
Here, let me hang up.
Now,
There
can
you
you
go.
hear me?
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. There we go. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
so
y'all. It ain't
Who's
Mr.
your
Sharp.
favorite? Okay, so ask him again.
Okay,
We
Mr.
speak.
Sharp. So now
We're
it's
speaking.
2025, and I told everybody that I get on your nerves and everything, but if you could just right now let everybody know. I know you got a lot of customers that you see, but who is your favorite customer of 2025?
You are.
Thank you.
That's me. Because you're consistent all the time.
Excuse me. I got
There you
receipts,
go,
y'all.
Mr.
Putting
Sharp.
this in the documentary. Hold on, Mr. Sharp. Let me drop that bomb right quick. Hold on 1 second. Did you hear that? Sometimes when you do business with people, they actually appreciate and they reward good purchasing power. So now that we've got now that my ego is out of the way, and y'all could please y'all heard him say who his favorite customer is 2025, right? Okay.
Who got
All right.
the feedback?
Who's got it's probably Mr. Sharp.
Mr. Sharp.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I'll put the mute on.
Okay. We're gonna. Who's got the feedback? Do you have the a telephone or something on your end? Okay.
No.
There
You
you go.
say that, Cheryl. Say that again.
You're perfect.
You're perfect.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, can you take a few moments out? Tell everybody in the chat, who is Leroy Sharp? Give us a little bit of background of who you are, because today the topic is all about the Black History Report, bringing the Black hair care history from the past to the present. And that's what you're going to help us do. But tell everybody who you are and how you got into the beauty industry. Just give us a little background of Mr. Leroy Sharp.
I'm original barber. I got my professional license in 1959, and I always knew that the better side of it, that you had to have the education. So I've been educated to the max. Ms. Morrow here, her dad was highly instrumental to me when I was there with him at one time, and he spent a couple days with me, enlightened me to a lot of things. We covered a lot of ground. It's been a good while, so I can't remember all of it, but he taught me quite a bit. I got it. Praise goes to him. Thankful that we had a gentleman like that in the profession that could carry from one thing next to the next thing. So we have a lot of things now we need to share with our Black hairstylists, barbers and beauticians. They are all the same today. So, hopeful that we can put something together and start teaching some new things that are happening, that we know are happening. With some of the old stuff that we had, there's new things that we overlooked. Cheryl's dad, if he was living, could bring that out for us today. So I want to say this. I'm thankful to Mr. Morrow. I have his brother here, Mr. Morrow, that I do. He and I have been doing business for like about 25, 30 years. Wow. So getting back to the part where you say, who am I? I'm Leroy Sharp. And like I say, I've been at it since 1959. I received my license.
1959?
59 to 1960. That's when I graduated.
I wasn't even born. Can y'all believe that? Ooh.
And I've seen and heard a whole lot. But Ladosha, there's some things that you're doing right now that's been in the closet, and I pray that you bring it out.
Oh, Thank you, Mr. Sharp.
Okay.
Y'all better be writing this down now. Y'all hear what this man is saying. We are working on something, and I am under his instruction. I just want you guys to know you all are in for a royal treat tonight. What's going on, Miss Patty Mackin? What's happening, Mr. Combs 56? I don't want to mess up your name. So I'm sorry, McCombs. I there I go again. I don't know why. I'm sorry, McCombs 56. It's okay. I'm getting better. My big brother Mo is in the chat. How you doing? So tonight, what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of set it up, okay? So it's no big secret that Cheryl and I, we have a big issue with the natural hair movement, right, Cheryl? And we're just kind of concerned, Mr. Sharp. This is why we want you here, because we're concerned about giving it away. And we think that it is headlines like these that lends into or perpetuates. I don't know which word we want to use as we look at these clips that I have. Here's the one up here. Black entrepreneur who owns a beauty school makes history and opens a hair salon. Would you say that is she's the first person who's ever done that? That she's the first Black entrepreneur to open a school and a hair salon?
What was her name?
I don't have her name, but it just says Black entrepreneur. This is Black history. That she owns a beauty school to make history again, and she opens a hair salon. So, do you know of any other people in the past that maybe had a school and opened a hair salon, or would she be the first that you ever heard of?
She would be the first I ever heard of. There's a young lady that they have that's over on the west side of Cleveland, and she worked for me. Named think of her name. I think it's Cheryl. And she opened a beauty school. Had a hard time getting it open because she was trying to get the barber and beauticians together. And at that time, the state had it under control that the barbers and beauticians couldn't work in the same salon. But when they found out that all of the services had to do with barber and beauticians, so then they opened that up, and things. I imagine things have been well because barbers and beauticians are all working in the same salon.
Right, but now this article says she's the first. She's the Black entrepreneur who owns a beauty school, right?
Yes.
And then she makes history by opening a hair salon. So you're saying in over your 50-something years, you have never heard of a Black person who owned a school and opened a hair salon?
No, because that right there is in about the past 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. We were entering in trying, as I said before, trying to get barbers and beauticians under one roof, because the state was getting all these different things that they were getting feedback, and then they came in with braiding, and then braiding had to be put over into a separate shop by itself. But I'm
sorry, but didn't Dudley's own a beauty school?
Yeah. I don't know if he owned a beauty school. He had a school.
They had a school. And let me pull it up. Go ahead.
Now, from my knowledge of Mr. Dudley, he had a training for all his salespeople that he had.
Yes, they had a beauty college in Chicago, Illinois, and South Carolina. Yeah.
Dudley's did?
Yeah, I'm showing it to you. Let me pull it up. What shall I say? Don't cook it up.
Look, where'd you go?
Oh.
You off camera?
Yeah, I'm off camera.
No, you're not. You not. Key Lolo is.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Hey, y'all leave me alone tonight. I'm getting there. Let me share my screen. So here's Dudley's Beauty College, right? And that was in Chicago, Illinois. But it also says that they own hair salons and spas.
Well, I guess the point we're making throughout, because of course you were licensed in 1959, 1960. We had already had Wilford Academy, Franklin Beauty School, and all of these particular people had all owned salons at one point, right?
So
And
this
so,
is new to you, huh, Mr. Sharp?
so this is new to you. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sharp?
Well, yeah, this right here is new, but the one that was a major back during the day was Irma Lee's Beauty and Barber College.
This,
That was the first. They were the first to put a barber school and a beauty school side by side because they never opened a salon.
we got that part.
That was
We're just trying to clear up a little bit here. So
yeah.
in your lifetime as a distributor, you were not aware that Dudley had a beauty college and he owned a hair salon.
Sure wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're gonna clear it up. She was not the first. I was hoping Mr. Sharp could say, "Oh yeah, I remember Mr. Dudley having a beauty school," but he doesn't remember that. But so let me just go back to the article, right? Because we got to clear some of this up, and this is some of the confusion that we're having here in our industry. Is that we're just not getting accurate history because things that were done is not getting its just due because of interesting I don't know what you call this. Is this sloppy journalism or I don't know what to call it. Maybe I'm just being
Well, now, because of course the thin line is journalism versus content versus news. You know what I mean? And so content sells products, right? And so if we, for the last 25 years in the national hair care industry, if we sensationalize this generation of entrepreneur, will make the whole movement seem more successful than it is. And so when you write contents like Black entrepreneur who owns a beauty school makes history, that begins to erase the last 50, 60 years, and then it'll give it the last 25 years, it'll give it more credence, which sells more product.
I think it kind of leans towards a little bit of revisionism. I'm not knocking anybody for making history in their own right, because I'm sure it's no small feat. I don't care how you cut it. To open up a school and a hair salon, that's no small feat. But we do have some wonderful history here in Cleveland that Mr. Sharp, I'm just going to show you a couple of images here. Now, if you are from Cleveland and you remember some of these places that I'm about to share with you, then by all means do so. And so, Mr. Sharp, when I show the image, I would like for you to share with us, what do you recall about this? Because we're leading up to something here. So here's one. What about the Wilkins School of Cosmetology? Look at this, Cheryl. It says hair care and hospitality here in Cleveland, Ohio. So do you remember this one, Mr. Sharp?
Yeah, most certainly. I did a styling class there with Miss Wilkins there, right there at 55th and Carnegie. It's the building's not there now, but
now here is Miss Wilkins. Now remember, y'all, we bringing y'all some receipts here. So these are some things we want you guys to understand, that we have a rich history of things that we've done. And like he said, it's about continuing the legacy. He's talking about what Dr. Morrow has done for him. So here is the owner of the school, Mrs. Wilkins. And then this is her cosmetology school that was located here. And it actually, again, it was hair care and hospitality. Cheryl, what do you make of hair care and hospitality?
Well, there was also, and because a salon, or what they call parlor, like a beauty parlor, they also had, I think, Rose Meadow Morgan, of course, continuing the tradition in Harlem, and so hair care was hospitality. The two industries. So when you come in the parlor, you get your nails done, you get your facial, you get your massage. I know Rose Meadow Morgan had nurses, falling in the tradition of Annie Malone Polro College. and things of that nature. Sarah Spencer Washington out of Atlantic City, right? And that is what they did. So it was
hair care,
yeah.
and I'm sorry for cutting you off. So hair care and hospitality, that went hand in hand. And Mr. Sharp, you said you did some education over there for this school, correct?
Yes. But still, here's the part where was difference. Back then, in those days that I took that class, it was strict. You had beauticians at that time, cosmetologists. They were in one school, and then the barbers were in another school. Irma Lee's is the only school in the city of Cleveland that I know of, block-wise, okay, that recruited barber under the direction of Mr. Hale, and then you had Mrs. Hale. She was the instructor for the beauty school. That was right there on 55th and Central. That's all that you had. Now you had Beecher's Academy that came from Irma Lee's, but Irma Lee's is the top dog.
And why do you think they separated them? I mean, I've been told the story many times, but why do you think? Well, because and wouldn't you agree that barbering may be a much older industry or vocation than cosmetology? Would you say that, Mr. Sharp?
Would I say that barbering is more than now from my knowledge?
No, she said older. She said it's barbering older than cosmetology.
Well, from my knowledge, as I said to you, I came out between 59 and 60. And at that time, the beauty schools were all in gear. Irma Lee's was the only barber college, unless you went to the state college, which was downtown, that was white and very few blacks in there. And
so
then,
you're not familiar with how old barbering is and compared to cosmetology?
No. You know the reason why I said it, because back during those days, a lot of things were political.
Yes,
and that was the way that they did. We just got through the door, and when we got into the relaxer business is when I say we black folks, that was when we started getting educated. When the blacks,
look at that.
Yeah.
Little known Black history fact. Okay, so if it wasn't for the relaxer, the education would have not moved the needle for African Americans. Okay.
So let's be clear. So what you're saying, was there a real educational vocation prior to chemical applications?
No, there wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that would make sense, because us pressing and curling, called the quoquino or the conch or the process, things of that nature. Right. And so when we
the marketplace got open, and the black manufacturers knew then that they could make their money, and where they started off with the guy that started it big was Johnson Products.
Yes.
Okay, that's all of Chicago.
Okay.
You mean
so
now which Johnson though? We know both of them had. Are you talking about John Johnson, Duke, and Ravine, or are you talking about George Johnson, Ultrastein?
I'm pretty sure it was George Johnson.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was George Johnson. I know they hailed out of Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And,
all right.
Then relaxers came in, okay, and then they had a little problems there, and then they straightened them out. Once they straightened them out, what was happening was they was using the solution that you put on men for processing. They started that with ladies wearing chemical services, okay, and
so
then
y'all heard it.
Y'all heard it. We brought
it. Men were relaxing first.
Right. And then the chemical was too strong. It was too strong. And it started breaking hair. So then they changed it around and they made it mild. And
Wow.
and by the time that they got through the relaxing, here come this young entrepreneur, Cheryl's dad. Tore the market up. There's a lot of stories about it. A lot of stories. But her daddy was the captain.
Now,
And that's that.
sorry, y'all. We got the tea tonight, y'all. We got the tea now. So the first tea, in case you jumped in, you just hopped on us live. Welcome to the 74th episode of Planet Pluto Pseudo. We have the one and only Cleveland's favorite distributor, Mr. Leroy Sharp, the former owner of Sharp's Beauty Supply. He's already spilled the tea that though he's not familiar with our history and owning beauty schools. I muted him. Yeah, I got him. Yeah. And our rich history. Now he wasn't familiar with owning our history and owning beauty schools and hair salons. So we was able to reveal that we did that already via Dudley's. So check your history
and many more.
And so many more. Right. That's just one. So when you see this, we do congratulate this young woman. She is a Black entrepreneur who owns a beauty school, and she makes history again. She's continuing the legacy, and she opens a hair salon. So we just want to put a backdrop that the again is because of Mr. Dudley, and like Cheryl said, so many more. And then he also, just brought us right into that there was a time when hair salons and barbers were not together. Not only that, but the education was not up to par until the relaxer came in. And now he's saying, but Mr. Morrow came in and he shook that industry. So Mr. Sharp, if you could give us your first memory of how you knew that Mr. Morrow was on to something big for you to make that statement that he shook the industry.
Well, a lot of things were going on up under the cover in the city at that time. And my knowledge that I had acquired, okay, gave me a chance to put me in front of most people, because I went to Cheryl's city, to her dad, and that was my first time knowing that a Black man owned a whole block. He had owned a whole block. At least that was what I went through. I spent about 4 days.
Let me drop the bomb on that. How many people grew up knowing a Black man who owned? He said the whole block. Let me drop the bomb right quick, because that is dopey dope.
Yeah, I was really amazed. He came over to a teaching that we had. Little. I can't think of the name. That's been a good while. And he said, "Sharp, I'm gonna come get you. Come over and spend the day with me." I spent the day and a half with him, and he enlightened me to everything. But like I say, all those machines that they had in there, the drums, I'd never seen that. I said, "Wow, this is a big thing."
So you knew that once you saw the full scale of him working beyond the barber chair and owning this whole block, and you saw the production, that was an aha moment that this is about to be something really big.
That was a big deal there. I came back to Cleveland and I blew up. And Mr. Morrow was selling to me truckloads. I can tell you, it was truckloads that I was getting. That's how big and large that industry was.
All right. So what industry did he blow up? What are you talking about? What industry did Mr. Morrow blow up?
He blew up. Where he got his recognition was from California Curl. That's where he blew up, when he did the cold wave.
So he did the cold wave, and then you said, "I'm all in. I want some of this California cold wave action, cream cold wave action."
I wanted a cream because I had dealt with some of the other people and I wasn't getting results. Mr. Morrow spent some time with me. That's what I'm trying to say to you. and educated me. I think at that time, Cheryl was in Paris.
Excuse us. Hello, Negroes. It's Black History Month.
You don't
Hello,
want me
Negroes. She was in Paris.
to.
Receipts is what we're bringing tonight. We're bringing all the receipts, okay?
Yeah.
So Cheryl, don't be trying to. Y'all know how Cheryl be active, but now we know she really did live high on the hog because she was in Paris. Excuse us. Go ahead, do tell.
I didn't meet Cheryl until later on, but I dealt with Mr. Morrow, with him, and he opened the door to a lot of things. He said, "Sharp, we're gonna go," and that was just it. We blew that up. You could buy a 4-pound tub of rearranger and get one free. He gave that to me. I turned that same deal over to the people. So they bought one and they got a 4-pound tub free. They was doing curls all over the city.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now that the chat is full, welcome everybody. Please, y'all put some hand clap emojis for Cleveland's very own Mr. Leroy Sharp. We appreciate all this love that you all have come in here to show this man. And Mr. Sharp, we really appreciate you. But what I would like for you to explain, now, if we look at these new founders today, like your Shea Moistures, your Miel Organics, your Carol's Daughters, right? Now, you just shared with Cheryl and I that you and from Mr. Morrow, it was buy one, get one free. He did it for you, and then you did it for somebody else. Why would you do that? Why did you not, you and Mr. Morrow, Dr. Morrow, did not just take this and do it just with you and him? What made you want to do that?
Well, what was happening is at that time they was having what you call a recognition. And then they had Carefree Curl was pushing. Mr. Morrow is the first Black man to bring out a cream rearranger. In other words, that's straighten the hair. He was the first one. But then I think he was a little bit unexperienced. He was a little unexperienced in promoting. And so Carefree jumped in, took it over, and he blew it up. But here in Cleveland, the top dog was Carefree. Was Willie Morrow's California Curl.
All right, let's see. Do you remember this gentleman here? This is Mr. Black, Wilbert E. Black. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, he trained under me.
You see that, Cheryl?
He trained under me.
So he says he's the Masty Curl and the Jerry Curl. Back then it was just 60. Look at that protein. All this stuff we think is new. We hope you guys see that this was out so long ago. So what did you train Mr. Wilbert E. Black to do? What did you train him? Was he familiar with the California Curl?
Yeah, he was familiar with it. But what happened was he did processing for men, so they used that stronger solution, which you can't put that on the ladies' hair, so they reduce that, right? Mm-hmm. And then about three product lines, I gave them to Mr. Black. But see, my theory is this: is you help. And when I go into salons, everybody knows me as one thing, is that I'm going to take time and patience. You having a problem with something in there with the hair, I'm going to take time to show you. And if we can, we're going to get somebody to help you. It's just that we wanted to promote things to go further. I right now am married to Mr. Black's wife's sister.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Okay. So see how you see, y'all better get into this industry. Y'all can get
I'm telling you live stories.
Because she done nabbed her a good one. Okay, anywho, I digress. I told y'all Mr. Sharp fine in real life, and he dresses a double crooked off. Okay, so now, Mr. Sharp, so now you're telling everybody here, because this chat is full. So you're here to share with us that you had. Go ahead.
You like an echo coming through.
Okay, let me mute you. Hold on. Okay, so are you saying to me? I'm sorry. I want you to take us a little bit deeper into your your concept of sharing the wealth, because you said you left Mr. Morrow, and by the time you got ready for your go back round, you was a wealthy man, and but yet you I don't know that you feel compelled to share it with others. I just want to get a little bit, so because the younger generation, I don't see, like, I don't know why the lady who owns Me Ill Organics wouldn't do the same thing that you did. Okay, Mr. Morrow did it for you, and then you shared it with another salon owner. So give us some more details as to what made you make that decision.
Now, you not to make the decision. What was the decision you said that you want to know? Say that decision.
To share your buy one get one free, because Mr. Morrow did that for you.
Well, that's always been. That's always been. I deal with you, and you basically know the way that I am. My thing is to help you. Is to help you, to share with you. And then people made money from it. They bought it. They bought the rearranger, and he was and of course I think he was about the first one to come on the marketplace with a 2 pound or 4 pound container. Her dad, Cheryl's dad, did.
Wow, it's a lot of stuff. See, we be thinking. I'm sorry, I don't know from projects.
But there was a lot of things that I don't think that Cheryl's dad knew what you know now, and then you couldn't expose it. You know, he had to come through me in order to get it, because they didn't have these apparatuses like what we're doing right here now. See what we have.
Let me just say this. As a young person, I just remember the camaraderie and respect that you gentlemen had. Maybe it's because you guys were always, fatherly and older than me, obviously. But even if they did have an argument, there was a chain of command. There was a hierarchy that it just was extremely different. And I don't know of any period of time in Black hair care where a person would invent something and discover something and formulate it and get it all ready and said, this is going to be huge, and then give it to Comer Cottrell Pro Line, and then give it to other people and say, listen, we're going to build an industry. Now let's compete with each other and let the best man win.
Yeah. Well, that back during those days was real challenging with the young guys coming in as manufacturers to the distributors. My thing was to battle carefree, and Mr. Morrow gave me the weapons to do this.
Did y'all hear that? I'm sorry, Mr. Sharp. Did y'all hear what he just said? Yeah. He said his job was to battle carefree. Can you imagine if we battled L'Oreal and Procter and Gamble?
Yeah,
they're Black people,
and we can do it. You know what I mean? Because I kept, all of Mr. Morrow's formulas. Because everything comes back. We just need to get that same camaraderie and get, and to do the same thing and can completely take it over.
So Mr. Sharp, we got some younger people in the chat. And again, we appreciate each and every last one of you all for coming in and listening to this Black History. We brought receipts. That's what you guys asked for. And our de facto producer is in the chat. Let's give it up for Miss Esther T. Jones. Esther, when I tell you, baby, I love you, I'm telling you, I'm not even joking.
We love you.
It was Esther who gave us this idea to bring in people. And so this has been working. The channel is actually growing authentically. We don't pay for any advertisement. So this is why we keep saying over and over and over, we appreciate you guys. We sound a little crazy about our passion for the Black hair care industry, but it is people like Mr. Sharp who is giving you guys a rich and lived history. He was there. That this is what they were trying to do. And this is why we want you guys to do this. So the next question, Mr. Sharp, is going to get a little bit touchy. It's going to get, because we got the new Jacks in the house.
Well, before you ask that question,
Go ahead.
Ask them how much bread was these brothers and sisters making.
Mr. Sharp, before
How
the
much
next
bread?
question, how much
I
money?
heard that black folks had money all over the place.
Listen, let me share this with you. My salon was on Lee Road, and every Monday, I did curls for $45. I'm using the terminology cold wave curl, $45. From the front of my building to the back of my building, we had 18. We would have 18 people standing in line to get their hair done. And just through that support of Mr. Morrow, let you buy one and you get one to free. It didn't get out of hand. Everybody was doing cold wave curls. And then the other part where they putting that moisturizer activator on your head, that was big. Now, Mr. Morrow, he didn't have that, but he had the solution to break it down. He had the neutralizer that was there, and he sold a plenty. I would like to say, and I'm not sure on that. I might have been his largest distributor. We had a ton of it coming in.
Well, one of the things, because I was just gonna say, I'm doing the documentary, right?
Yes.
And sometimes the feds would come in and say it was almost like y'all was moving cocaine.
Right.
I mean, it was just tons and tons and tons, and that is what Bessie was saying in the documentary.
Yeah. Was it that much money? Did y'all make that kind of money?
Oh my God. Listen,
he don't even want to talk about it, y'all. You know, he say
I could do 13 to 15 heads a day. I would leave out at 3 o'clock in the morning. I start in the morning. I wouldn't get home until to finish until 3 o'clock in the morning. Because the people be patient waiting. I fed them. I had them with luxury. I had a competition salon. So that when you come into my salon, we started business-wise. Receptionists took care of you. You could not smoke. We had where if you want to drink back in there, I had it in a luxury fashion. I didn't get cured to Mr. Morrow, but that was what we did. But I want to make a note to something. The young lady that you couldn't tell me her name, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Nicole. She had the beauty shop and she had the beauty school and she was a state board member also.
Oh, that's Nicole Cumberlander, the owner of Noari Black. That's Black History. She is alive. She is on the board. You see that Mr. Sharp say what's his last name, y'all?
Sharp.
Don't get it twisted, y'all. The man last name ain't Sharp for nothing. It took him a minute, but it came back to him. All right. So we have Mr. Dudley's. He's done it before, and we also have Mrs. Nicole Cumberlander, the owner of the Paul Mitchell Schools,
right.
And she is the owner of Noari Blanc salon. So she's got it going on. Okay. So now my question, and now it's about to get a little spicy now, Mr. Sharp. Now I want to know what was and maybe still is your thoughts on this natural movement that's anti-chemicals, because they feel like the curl, the drip, the theo, the ammonium, like this is bad, it's dangerous, it messes up your hair. Don't bring that stuff back. What are your thoughts when you heard that, and what are your thoughts about it now? And I have a clip about just the transition of how we gave it away back then. Okay, so what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is the way that it went. First, I was one of the members of the Black Beauty Association, which congregated in Chicago just about every year, and I was one of the members. And at that time, I'm glad I could bring that up. We talking about years later that I had told at a meeting, which was all black distributors. We would have, if you was a part of that what was happening was that we should get together, black folks, because it was our products. We the ones who we put it on our people.
Sis, you gotta drop the bomb.
that if they've listened to me then, I was hot then because I was high on the ladder then. Then I told him, I said, if we all get together, and if the Chinese and we would have it today, if the Chinese would come, that they would give the distributor a percentage. The manufacturer would give the percentage to the distributor, and the distributor would deal with the Koreans, and the Koreans wouldn't have jumped ahead of where they was at. But they had.
I'm sorry, just slow down for me. I gotta get this in my head because I got a clip, y'all. Y'all better hit this thumbs up button because this man is giving y'all. We brought the receipts today. Y'all messing with the wrong cosmetology. Woo! Look at that dang on Instagram is lit. What's up? Sharing some secrets.
Tell them about.
My God!
We wouldn't have to boycott. We wouldn't have to boycott.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just calm down. Okay. Repeat it one more time. This was the plan, and the Koreans would not have had it because I'm going to show y'all the clip. So one more again, just say this was the plan. And if you can remember around which year that was.
I don't remember those years, but it might have been coming up to the 90s. Okay. But what my thought was, and the one of the brothers of Willis out of Columbus, and I shared, he was on the board. Bill Madison was on the board. Cheryl know these people, and I spoke then because I was strong then. I was making money. I've never made it in my life. And so they didn't want to hear my voice. And I come back to them and they said, Sharp, are you going to come back with the same thing? I said to you, if you would make the Chinese people buy from your distributors, then the distributors could get a percentage from the manufacturer. And
did y'all hear that?
Everybody got a piece of money. Because see, this is what's happening today. They section us out. Listen, white folks didn't make as much money that black folks produced together for us to have. White folks, that year that they did that, black folks had gone over the sales of beauty. Well, I don't know the words that you put there for, but we went over top of it, but they kept controlling. Then the next thing you know, they did the black and white thing that Revlon was going to cancel out. Revlon, because the industry was getting a change, then it was changing from relaxers going over towards the curls, and then everybody began to buy out, to clear out, so that the competition couldn't be so carefree. Carol, problems happen now internally. Some of the big guys, Mr. Dully never did too much with the curls. He did with relaxers and did with salesmanship.
Wow. I didn't want to drop the bomb in the middle because he was kicking the ballistics, but I'm gonna go ahead on right quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop the bomb right quick because let me drop one more time, and I hope y'all took notes. If not, replay. Okay. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you the clip. Because I know y'all we shouldn't be talking like that. It ain't what. So, Mr. Sharp, I'm going to show you the clip. And here's proof of how we gave it away. No, before I do that, the first clip is the lady saying what he said. Here we go.
African American style is very big business.
Almost every week they change the style for hair.
Everybody wants to be a part of our market because we're the #1 consumer. We spend 10 to 1 on anybody in hair. In the retail market right now, majority of the retail stores are ran by Koreans. And more of the Korean stores that are ran by, the 90%, are supported 100% by Black African money. It's so unfair, that they take our money. But once again, part of it is our blame. We allow what happened.
Is this true?
So there it is. Mr. Leroy Sharp said we actually did not do what they suggested, which was make those Korean people buy from the distributor, and then let the distributor get buy their stuff from the manufacturer. But what we did, we kicked out our own distributors, our sacrificial lambs, and we went directly to the Koreans. If you don't believe me, watch. Now, he already told y'all. Here go the next receipt. Hold on. Here we go. Next receipt, y'all.
What you're looking at is one of the Black Beauty Supply magazines that inform people who are interested in black hair products. All the ads and articles are about African Americans and their hair. And even though all the information is about blacks, half of this magazine is in Korean. And this magazine, Beauty Times, which is the #1 publication for black beauty store owners, is written entirely in Korean. It's here, inside Beauty Times, that I spot Dr. Tony Leno, a black hair expert who writes a monthly column for this magazine.
What you talking about, Will?
This channel fire!
And you already could imagine, Mr. Sharp, what my dad said about that.
Yeah.
Did you know Mr. Leno? Had you ever heard of Mr. Leno?
No, I never heard of him.
Are you familiar with that publication, though? Have you ever seen that before?
No, I'm not familiar with that publication either.
Okay, Cheryl, are you?
Yeah, it was big time. They would always call to Mr. Morrow and want him to be in it. I know Mr. Leno personally, and let me just say this: because I grew up with these people, and they were much older than me. It's not that you don't like them personally. You may not like their politics. You may not like what they do, but we did respect each other, and they are. For all I do know that he is still with us, and he works very closely with the Whites, Lucky, and Mr. White of Kazuri.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now,
I love that, Esther.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Sharp. Go ahead, Mr. Sharp.
All those. I'm gonna share a story. And this is happening with me. My brother was my co-pilot, and he and I got into. I told him, "Come on, go in the business with me." We were in an Atlanta show, and Mr. White did the curling irons, and the Willis brothers. We wanted to meet the Willis brothers, and I'm gonna share this behind what's going on. And so the Willis brothers finally came down. We didn't know that they were standing behind us, that we were waiting to meet them. And so they said, we were the greenest country guys that you had ever seen. Give me 1.5 to 2 years with that curl solution from Cheryl's daddy. And I told him, now we're greener now. That money was coming that fast. And then I began to supply them through Mr. Morrow, Cheryl's dad. But here's what we've had. We've had entrepreneurs, and white folks steal all of our ideas. They take all of our things from us, and then the Koreans, they just went more in depth. Whereas right here today, what you're doing is educating, and they need to know that there's no substitute for education at all. And the more we get, and it's not too late, if we could get in behind anybody that knew Mr. Sharp in the city of Cleveland, I would say, let's go to I took people, Mr. Troy, I took other gentlemen, Gino, I had all them to go to Chicago with me and my wife at that time. And I shared with them to buy, but they couldn't understand the concept of buying by dozens. We're not educated. And so as end result, that the Koreans knew that there was a link. And so here's one of the concepts of the Koreans. This is how they put me out of business. They put me out and I couldn't do it. They put a store or two. They put 2 stores in front of me, 2 stores behind me, 2 stores on the side of me. I was on the corner of Northfield in Randall. And I was a hot daddy. But then when they put them stores in, they could get where the blacks wanted the manufacturers wouldn't share that money that they want. They wanted all the money, but if they did what I told them, that sell to the Korean through the distributor. He's the one that used up his leather and expense sheets and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you see what happened? That now the manufacturers wasn't trusting the distributors, and then the distributors did not want to buy in bulk so that the manufacturers could be able to trust them. Black folk,
Right.
we've got
And all,
to get it together. Retail.
And all,
I'm sorry.
All those manufacturers. I'm trying to rattle this stuff off so quick in my head. They didn't want to deal. We didn't want to deal with that. See, the black manufacturer, he wanted all the money. But all you have to do is, and this is where it goes today. One guy can't do it. That's what that was the fault there of Mr. Morrow. He was one guy. Cheryl was a young baby girl, young lady, intelligent lady. So he didn't have anybody else. He called me all the time. He said, Sharp. He said, and Cheryl might laugh at this. He said, Mr. Sharp. He said, I had a dream. Don't laugh, Cheryl. He said, I had a dream about you. You gonna go to the top. And we went to the top.
Wow. Let me drop the bomb on that. Did y'all? This is happy Black History Month, and again, big ups to Esther for encouraging us to do this. That's amazing. Her dad had a dream about Mr. Sharp, and it actually happened. Let's bring in some more Cleveland people on the scene, and let's see if you remember some of these famous. Now, I was not around then, but when you come to Cleveland and you work in Cleveland rather, and you call yourself a true OG, you know the game. We can tell that you don't know the game if you're not amongst the people like this gentleman here, Mr. Underwood. And he was the owner of the Cut Beauty School. What do you know? What can you tell us about Mr. Underwood, the owner of the Cut Beauty?
Everybody that came out, I knew everything and everything was going on. Mr. Underwood had a couple schools, and it gets back to the same part where I say to you, we get to a point that we don't have consultants to keep our black faces guiding going. I wanted to go to many other different businesses, but I just didn't have. My dad didn't go to school, and I didn't have any kind of education directing me to go higher to different things. I wanted to. I already knew this. I could spend the whole day and tell you some goodies that have you cracking up. But my main thing is it's not too late right now, and I'd like to see you. That's what's very outstanding about you, Ladosha. Is that you're dealing with a part of education, and it's not big. The education is not big. In other words, when I say that it's not outstanding, we want to get the money fast. Well, that's no good. Get that education fast.
Come on, hit that heart button. Hold on right quick, Mr. Sharp. Girl, tell them what they need to do. He said, don't get that fast money. He said, get that fast education. Now, hit that heart button right now. Hit it. Yada. Come on, y'all. Hit the heart button. That was some serious knowledge dropping right there. And I keep telling y'all, take y'all butts to school. And it's okay to have a consultant. It's okay to have my mentor, Ivan Williams, called me on the drive here tonight. I have a mentor. I'm not a millionaire. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. I'm cool with that, but we can do it. He's letting us know we can get there. Okay. So, so we know Mr. Underwood is someone that was definitely trustworthy. And he says this was a guy. What about this gentleman here? Mr. Swoop. Now, this is a gentleman that I hear his name. Monica Green talked about him. Pam talks about him. Every single hairstylist, the OG hairstylist, they just pay homage to Mr. Floyd Swoop. So tell us about Mr. Floyd Swoop. To those who don't know, I don't know that much about him, and his Mirror, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, y'all, but is it Gorpa or Gorpay? Mirror. So let's talk about Mr. Swoop.
From my knowledge of Mr. Swoop, I did the same thing with Mr. Swoop. And my thing has always been, if we get a bunch of us, you can see like with the policeman, one policeman ain't gonna take on that black, but they get a bunch of them, they're gonna take your business. See, so what happened with Mr. Swoop and Herman Allen? These guys, they weren't team players. See, they wanted to get everything, and then their name blowed up. Floyd had a good concept. He stole Miss Black's wife to come over do his mirror curl system, and then he blew up a little bit, but he gets back again to what I was saying. We don't have the I can't say that word properly, but consultation person that can care, that has been in it like me, and then the next level. Because see, these guys, see, the barbers are just now making money. They could have made money a long time ago. And anybody knows me, they know that I will stop and share with them with the barbers and beauticians. I'm a barber, but I didn't go in much barbershops. It was always more money in the beauty shops. But then if you go,
Mr. Sharp, how you gonna say the barbers could have been made a lot? Everybody in the chat went up. They want to know, can you back up a little bit? Because you gave a lot of tea right there, but they want you to expound a little bit when you say the barbers could have made so much more money. You need to
explain it just a little slowly so they can understand. Because when we do this again, because we gonna do it again.
Okay, all right. Well, when I say that is the barbers, all they could do is cut the hair. Now you can cut the hair. This is when the state board for the state of Ohio, things begin to change over. Barbers were going in the beauty shops, unlicensed beauticians or beauticians were in barbershops back in the back doing hair, but in a barbershop. So what I'm trying to say is that boy, it's tough trying to explain it, is that barbers' prices stayed where they were on the poor side. They couldn't, because everybody could cut hair. And so what else could you do to hair? Do you know what the men now hairdos cost as much as the ladies' hairdos? So I'm saying to you that you can texturize, you can braid the men's hair, you could, all these things are in the bar. So they took
the barbershop. Okay.
So they took the barbershop is out of the equation. It ain't really the barbershop. If they're not in there, but a lot of the barbers now, they don't want to get over into some of the other services. But you know, you can only put out what you know in knowledge.
Well, barbers are like, hold on, brother. Where my barbers at? I know it's some barbers in the chat, because barbers are like, yo, bro, we ain't really trying to be messing around with no chemicals, bro. We trying to get our face, we trying to get our hot steamy towels, we trying to get those crispy hairlines. We ain't gonna be rolling hair. So what do you say to barbers who may feel like that is not our lane? But before you answer, what's up, Meredith? Positive Images, Miko Pearson. You're getting a lot of love over here on Instagram. They're saying education for sure. But how do you convince these barbers who are not really into chemical services that this is something that they should be doing? What would you say to them?
I don't know what you would say to him. I never went into me. I'm a barber myself. Good one, tops in the city, a hair cutter. But I'm saying to you, if you just anything goes today. So anything that the barbers come up with, uneducated, where they get a rebound, maybe you get a talented guy that he can do it just now. He doesn't need to be trained or anything. Then he can teach some of the people, but to go get the real training so that we can take our industry back. We don't have to look at white. We can make black hair white and make it kinky, make it curly, you can make it colored, you can do all the things that you could do that white folks do. And
then you're not. Oh wait, but then you're not natural. You're messing it up, Mr. Sharp. If you are, this is the argument. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Let's hear it.
If we straighten it, if we make it kinky, if we make it curly, if we do all these things, if we use chemicals, then where will the natural? You're messing up our natural afro, the way it grows from our scalp, the way God.
You're taking our blackness.
What I'm trying
acculturating. You're trying to be white when you do that.
No, what I'm trying to say to you, on black hair, you can do the service. I'm saying to you, I've said to you, education. If the barbers would go to advanced schools and learn, okay, then there's no need for you to do that. Most of the stuff that you see that on there, that these are people who have incorporated these solutions, the perma wave solutions and whatever else you want to do, that they've manufactured and put them together and they sold them. Now, since we started off, we start this conversation, we started off here from the beginning. We said, how did this industry really get started and grow off so large? Well, we was in the relaxer. No, we was in the press and curl. Then we went to relaxers. Okay, braiding was in back then. It was in then. They've been braiding for I don't know how long. You don't have to go. You don't have to go no how to braid.
That's the best podcast. That's just
Thank you.
Oh my
Natural hair, people. Natural hair started in the salon.
Yes.
They don't want none. Let me drop that bomb. Esther, Esther, I love you so much. Esther, don't you leave me. Esther, don't leave me. Esther, I'll be on bended knee. Thank you so much. Let me drop this bomb right quick. Hold on, Mr. Sharp. We just gotta let them know. Wait a minute. Hold on, Mr. I got it.
Go ahead.
Did y'all hear what the man said? Shirley said it 1,000 times. We already did it. You're not going to get as much expression and financial economic opportunity. We're not saying don't do it, but there are some people that particular service is for some people that particular service of braiding and twisting and locking, it doesn't have as much financial potential. Let's just be honest, okay? That's one. Two, look at all the myriad of services that you can do with the hair to grow a business, a person, an economy, if you can do all the different things with that fiber to those who are looking to have something different done to it. Instead of shaming
technology.
Instead of shaming them and saying, Ladosha, you're acculturating. Ladosha, you're trying to be white. Look at your hair. Mr. Sharp is sharing with us it's infinite possibilities and how you can express this unique fabric that nobody else has but us. And it's not only unique in its expression, it's unique in its infinite income earning possibilities. And he is saying tonight, we can do that again. And what do you have in mind that we could do again?
That it gets back to what I said to you a few minutes ago, is that we keep people like you pushing and talking to people, because we are people that don't want to take that in. Why do you limit yourself to one service? Why? Why do you limit yourself to just braiding? What they brought in the Jamaicans or Africans. They put 2 people on your head. Then they come in with the nail service. Then they come out with Floyd Swope come out with acrylics that they was putting on. It was lasting a long time. It's about the money. It's always about the money and what you put into it. And if you limit it with that, the barbers are just limited. I'm just saying to you, if that's where the person come in, then you tell them, say, well, we don't do chemical services here. So let it go down the street and then go down the street. And Ladosha, I'm just saying, I'm using you as a parable. Ladosha say, yeah, I can give you the service $150. Come on. Now break yourself down. How long does it take you to give that service? That's how you practice to find out, are you making it? I always ask everybody, what are you worth per hour? And you know what everybody would tell me? They tell me the shoulder thing. I don't know. How much are you worth? So if you got all them services you can do, this is what you worth, because you do them according to time. According to your education, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. Did that help what I was saying?
Yes.
Cheryl, did you want to add anything? Because I'm like,
let me just say that's why we always break down. Because at the end of the day, what the difference between a career and a job, it is the amount of time of the dollar value you apply to your time. And if you apply the time, if you worth $200 an hour, if you're worth $75 an hour, you can name it. And especially if you get your money up, you got your cosmetic trichology, then you got your hair loss, and then you got your beard, and then you got your shaving, and then you got your hair bumps, and then you got your face, then you got product money, and then you got, you have to plug up. You got product money and sales, which Mr. Sharp told you. Then we had that. It's a science, and that is what George Johnson, John Johnson, Annie Malone, Madam C.J. Walker, Sarah Spencer Washington, Tyler Barber, all of them dudes that y'all talking about. All of them. It's a money game, and that's how we got to think about it.
Okay, so Taylor says, people are making so much money, though, in the natural hair care industry. Demand is so high to the point where the ultra-precise relaxer is vanishing.
Let me put it this way, and let me just say this.
And then, Mr. Sharp, I want you to respond to that statement. Okay, Cheryl, you go first, then Mr. Sharp.
Let me just say this. Your concept of making so much money is a fraction of the money that Mr. Sharp is talking about. Natural hair care had, even the brands, we are still talking about Ultra Sheen. We still talking about Carefree. We still talking about California Curl. We still talking about Cosmo Curl. We still talking about Design Essentials. All those brands are 25 years and older. There is not one natural hair care brand that it will make it out of 7 to 10 years.
And they don't generate wealth for other people. Let me just say that.
Every brand is a venture capitalist. It's just completely wired. There's no comparison of the grand wizard, enormous juggernaut of wealth. The natural hair care is not. Every product brand is sold within 7 years to a white conglomerate. It's not even Mr. Sharp. It's not even in the same.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Sharp, your turn. Can you respond to this comment? She says, "Okay, guys." She just wants to give us this little this little app here. People are making so much money, though, in natural hair care industry. The demand is so high to the point where the ultra precise relaxer is vanishing. So let's see. What do you say about that?
None of those things are vanishing. It's in your hairstylist that can give all of the different services. All those things need to be addressed. Okay, and the ones in a minute we're going to see Koreans behind the chair doing hair, because our black stylist or whatever it is limited with his education to what he can do. So I would say to some
now was so good. Okay.
I knew when he was messing with that camera. So
it was frozen. Okay. Okay, Cheryl, keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can walk him back through. You guys keep going, Cheryl. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, I think that too, one of the things that is important to really understand is that the Black hair care industry of let's just say from 30s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then you have that, the Black hair care had the iPhone, it had the BlackBerry, it had all of each little technologies that came decade after decade after decade, and they were multi-billion, multi-billion, multi-billion. And then it just kept progressively through the 30s, 60s, in 70s and 80s. And then all of the implements like combs and brushes, all of that stuff was Black manufactured. And they had a loyalty. Now, one of the things that I didn't get to say to either Ladosha and to add on to Mr. Sharp was the fact that professional use only was like the standard of the standard of how you got your hair done. You went next door, maybe into the beauty supply, or the hairstyles would get you all of your other ensembles, like your hair oils, or your liquid oil, guys, did not start in natural hair care. It started in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Sulfur-8 started in the salon. Liquid oils, hot oil treatments, all of that is the same thing that natural hair care is doing. The problem is that your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, your baby boomers, your silent generation, your Gen Xer types of brands were funded by Black money. They didn't need a VC, a venture capitalist. They didn't need all these millions of dollars. These brands stayed Black, and then they utilized Black distributors like Mr. Choose, Mr. Sharp, and others to be able to spread like a virus, or that's what they meant say, like going viral, right? That the viral was Mr. Sharp. Absolutely, Eleanor. Sulfur-8, all of these things, and we had our own petroleum jellies like Vaseline. We had our own hot oils. We had our own sulfur-8s. We had our own, and all of that, because the only thing we had was the natural sources. So none of our stuff was these synthetic boogeymans that of the natural Y2K movement that of 25 years ago. Oh, hey, Mr. Sharp, there you go. You guys, oh, hey, we was on a roll, guys.
Yes. And again,
okay.
Go ahead.
I was letting it out. I mean, it started rolling. My God. Woo, girl, you don't know.
It's good. We got about 10 more minutes, so this is good. So let's just kind of go back a little bit, if we can, to where we were. Oh wow. So just to let you know, people are over here saying, they said preach. They said some people said that they still do chemicals, and the money has always been in the chemical services. If you could just kind of, again, we are not saying don't do the natural hair, but we're talking about income earning potential, and how education, when you're properly educated, you get, so much more. So if you could just continue that, because that is a big fight, is that people want to do a lot with natural hair. They want natural hair people to have an education. They want natural hair people to have their own license, but it's still cosmetology. So can you just kind of,
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would say is we have to learn how to respect our elders. Then we have to learn how to share. And after we share, we're directing the young people Okay, because they want to know. But then they go off and they say, here's what they do. Without education, they go and they see where they can make a good money just braiding. So when the other service comes in, they let that go. We don't deal with retailing. All these things that we don't go. We let the Koreans sell your customer. Your customer leaves out of the salon and go over to the Korean store and buy some. And the Koreans say, "Huh? They don't know how to spell English. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do."
Why do you think a lot of black salons don't sell retail? Better yet, how many people in the chat buy hair care products from a hair salon on all channels? Twitch, what's happening? Twitch. All right, what's happening? Instagram. Instagram is on fire. What's up, YouTube? YouTube is out here in these streets. Facebook. How many people in the chat? Can you just put me? Just say me. Do you buy your hair care products? We mean your brush, your comb, your shampoo, your conditioner, your oil, your cream, your bonnet, your do-rag, whatever you're putting on your hair right now. How many people buy it from the hair salon? All right. And it could be hair grease.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. I want to know how many people buy their products from an actual hair salon or barbershop. Okay. Let's just see. Okay. This coming in a little bit slow. Come on, guys. Let's get. Also, if you respond, it helps YouTube put more of our work out authentically, because we know that this is America's favorite podcast about Afro. As a matter of fact, we should be changing it by now, Cheryl. It's the world's favorite podcast about Afro hair. And we are live and direct with Mr. Leroy Sharp. He's a former owner of a hair distributing company called Sharp's Beauty Supply. He's an educator. He's also a retired barber. So we're just trying to get you guys to share with us how many people buy their retail from hair salons. Now, I'm just going to go gangster, right? So we got Trish says she does.
Okay.
Our de facto producer, who we love so much, don't forget to please go and follow Esther T. Jones right here on YouTube. She doesn't buy hair care products from the salon. My BFF says when I'm in Cleveland, she sure does. I can testify to that. And then she said, it's my favorite. I hope you mean salons. It's her favorite. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to say, by what's not happening in the chat, that you guys are not buying from hair salons. So, Mr. Sharp, can you tell the hairstylists who are in the chat, why is this a problem for these people who are watching us in the live and they're not feeling comfortable? You know, I'm not quite sure, guys, but let's just say, they're not buying from hair salons. Okay. So let's hear your thoughts on that, okay?
Well, I'm about to lose you. I've been all around the United States with getting the education and learning how to present myself. I worked for a long time in suits. Now, and I'm not going to get away from it. But what I attribute to me talking to you now is that I went and got education. Some of the stuff I had to filter out because I had to take what I thought I saw in the white platform. I had to take that, interpret that, and put that in the black form, But had I not had any kind of education, I couldn't do anything. And then what I'm saying, when you go in the salon to get the people, the hairstylists on a Monday, to drop everything and go and spend some dollars on your education so that you can make the kind of money you want to make per hour. How much do you want to make per hour? Back during 1980, 80 going into to 90, I was worth, that was big money then. I was worth $50 an hour. So I worked, I brought my lunch to work and my shop stayed packed. and everybody wanted to work under Mr. Sharp. You know the reason why they wanted to? Because I would go out, get the education, and come back and teach them. One young lady I just talked with, she duplicated the same service. I wish that she could have listened to this. She went to school with me, went away when we went away and learned in Jerry Redding. But as far as Cheryl's dad was concerned, we just went there and learned everything, how to wrap solutions. I could go on and on. But the main thing is, if these barbers and the beauticians don't go and learn nothing, then they're gonna mess up. They're not gonna retail no products because they don't understand it. And now this is what happens with retailing products. Black folks think that they sell one and say they make 40, I'm just using this as a parable, they make a little small amount. In this business, it's the minis. How many do you sell that get you? Cheryl's not going to sell me 1 pound tub and ship it here to Detroit or to Cleveland. Cheryl's going to say, listen, I want you to buy 6. We still don't get no education. I say to myself, I share the education. I've always shared it. Stayed in the salons with them and showed them how to place rods, what the chemicals about. Let me bring this with you. I learned a secret today from a young lady that was under my tutorial. Was with me when she first started school. She's on 105, Rhonda Robinson Ginyard. And she took, I told her you had to leave me. Let me go with all of I taught you. She bought a building, bought her a home, and sent her daughters to college. Daughters real smart. But I'm just saying to you, there's something that I would like to share, eventually share with you, Ladosha, first. Okay? And then we're going to go to the next step. I spoke to you partially about that today. So if we can get that up and get it started, and you keep, I always say this, keep that beautiful mouth of yours talking, because you can go, girl. Talk. Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay at him. Here I am at my age here now, and my first love is hair. I love it. And anytime I can learn something, I learn something new, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into money. Come on, what do you do this for? Them barbers and beauticians can make as much money as they want. They charge $300 and $400 just braiding, and they get nothing. They go home and go to sleep, and that's it. Go out to the mall. But then you could do those other services according to time. Like I said to you, how much are you worth? I would say to you, how much you do, just personally, how much are you worth per hour?
Right.
And then where would you like to be? So in order to get to where you're going, you want to get some ammunition up under you. It takes bullets for the gun. You shoot the gun all day long if you don't have no bullets. But if you got the bullets, you can get where you want to go.
And you hear what Miss Taylor Hatley is saying in the chat. She said the market demanded inexperienced stylists who don't follow the science of hair, and that's exactly what they got. And so we are here on this live. Thank Taylor, girl. Let me just get a hand clap for you right quick, because sometimes, you know, like she said, be leery of what you asked for. Why? Because you just might get it. So I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for that. Also, over here, is saying you need a business mindset. Most people are just doing hair, not a business. Salon 6, I wish you was on here to explain to us what is the difference between doing hair and doing business. Before we wrap this up, can you answer that question? And this is again sharing salon secrets over on Instagram. Do you know the difference between doing hair and doing hair business, Mr. Sharp?
Yes, I know the difference. I tell you this. I could sell a 16-ounce activator. I could sell that and make more money than you could with your 2 hands. Quick, and still I'm waiting for the next person to come. So that's what it. Guess what the Koreans do? They piled up with your money. They got your money. Where you good? It's not too late to all of us to get together and quit worrying about how much money Ladosha, how much money Cheryl got in her pocket. Okay? Worry about how you put it together. Everybody gets their share, and you keep going. Unification. You look at the march and all that. Martin Luther King, he wouldn't have been nothing by himself. He had a group working with him.
And the beauty industry. Beauty industry gave MLK, and the
Yep.
civil rights movement is first finance. We were the bankers of the civil rights movement.
Right. So I hope I answer your question that
that was from Salon Secrets. I know you're not here and able to break it down, but Mr. Sharp just gave all of us licensed professionals and our hair aficionados. We appreciate you guys' support. That first and foremost, you've got to be educated. All right. And tonight we have done our best to give you guys receipts on the purpose and the beauty of being educated and having history. And Mr. Sharp just really took us down memory lane. He gave us all examples of how we did it wrong in the past. And Cheryl is telling you that we're still making the same mistakes in the future. There are more hair aficionados in the chat tonight than there are cosmetologists. And the consumers are on the side of us doing what Mr. Sharp said. If you're into natural hair, rock it, but be educated. If you're going to be a barber and you love cutting hair, rock it, but get more education so you can expand on that fabric. If you're a licensed cosmetologist and you're sticking to one thing and all of the above are not selling retail, you need to get educated so that we can move. And he says we have got to work together. And I am dedicated to working with Mr. Sharp, who is dedicated to working with Cheryl and her uncle so that we can begin, he said, take something old and rebrand it and put a different twist on it. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and maybe one day I can become a millionaire and experience what that feels like, because I don't know that right now. Okay. So Mr. Closing thoughts for us as we wrap this up. We want you to come back again. Did you guys enjoy Mr. Sharp? Because y'all stayed rocking, y'all kept it full. If you enjoyed Mr. Sharp, please show him some love. But is there anything you want to share with us before we check up out of here?
Is there anything I want to share with them? And I shared that with everybody. I always tell you, you're not going to go anywhere if you don't have any education. Because if you don't know what to do, you won't know what you want to do. You can go to the highest mountain. You could have a chauffeur to take if you got the education, you presenting. I mean, I don't want to get out of content what I'm saying here. They got some people that build up. They're worth $500 to the cold wave curl, to the texturizer. Or to the worst, and they know how to do it. They got something going, and what they do is they always make sure that they let the person sell them right from your shop what you want them to have. They don't need to go to the Koreans, because the Koreans don't know nothing about it, but they tell you yeah man, and that's it. So let's take our profession back. And the way that we do that, we learn how to trust within one another. And don't worry about the other. You got something, bring it to the table. Have these meetings that you're having right here where they can do it, because it's so wonderful now that we could do it. Cheryl's in San Diego, you in Cleveland, and I'm in Detroit. So we can relate. And anytime they want a question or anything they want to know, feel free. I'm 440-341-0718. I will be glad, as I've always did, is to share with anybody that want. I don't have time for the crap, but something you want to know, I'd empty the door and everything I know about it for you.
Did y'all see he dropped that number like Mike Jones? 900. What about Mike Jones? What about Mike Jones? People back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. He dropped that number in the chat. Drop it one more time, Mr. Sharp, just in case they didn't hear you.
440-341-0718. Leroy Sharp.
There you have it. Now, someone did put in the chat, I can't find it, but they said, take it back. Cheryl, that is our hashtag. When we do what he asked us to do, I don't know who put it in the chat, but I love you for it. I'm gonna take my there it is. Eleanor. I should have known it was my boo. Eleanor, I love you. I love you, Eleanor. I love you. Okay, that's our hashtag. Take it back. We're gonna work on something. Cheryl, help us out as we wrap this up for this wonderful 74th segment. Can you please?
I'm going to just piggyback on what Mr. Sharp said. And I think that the loyalty is, and I want everyone to just, because no matter what branch you're in, natural hair doesn't make a difference. There was something on Mr. Morrow's, on that cold wave jar. If you can put that picture up one more time. There's something very special about that picture. The jars. And the jar says, right, you got it? Very important. What does it say on the side? Professional use only.
Can you repeat that one more time? Start all over again.
Okay. Professional use only is right there on the side, on the right-hand side. And the importance of that was that Mr. Morrow understood that if we could build an industrial trust gap, if we could close that industrial trust gap, if we could be loyal to the distributor, if we could be loyal to the profession, then we would have industrial riches, power, influence, and we can control the markets. We can control the lanes of where the product we're going. We could control the price. We could control the retail profits. We can control how we buy it, what price we buy it. Walmart is not the biggest monopoly. It is the biggest monopsony, which means it controls the price because it buys so much of one thing. Okay?
Repeat that. Monopsony.
Right. Walmart is not a monopoly. It is a monopsony, which means that they buy so much, they control what you buy it at. And all of the subsequent other distributors under them. Everybody is pricing according to Walmart because they're the biggest buyer of something, not the biggest seller. They're the biggest buyer, which means they get it they control, and how it comes into the country, they control that. That's a monopsony. The point here is that, I don't want to cry, but what I will say to you, Mr. Sharp, as I promised, and Ladosha promised Mr. Morrow, that we would use what we know, and we will not act like we don't know. We will not act like it did not happen. We will learn from what has happened. We will understand it, listen, and be able to preserve our inheritance and do the right thing. And so we know success leaves clues. Our job is to maybe do it with a little more of a different twist, but to duplicate what has been done before. We were once rich. We did it. And let me just say this. I am completely committed. And every industry is built on technology, not our backs, not how much we do something, but creating a different mousetrap, as Mr. Morrow would say, and making sure that we can give it to each other, and to make sure that we could produce it. I still produce everything that he's ever made.
Right.
I am committed to doing that.
Okay.
For us.
All right. So there you have it. 74 episodes of Black Excellence. It is Black History Month, but here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, Facebook platform, Twitch platform, and Instagram platform, you get Black History all day, every day. We have a question. Miss Esther, our de facto producer, would like to know, do you have a book by any chance, Mr. Sharp? Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I got him on mute. Do you have a book, Mr. Sharp?
No, I don't have a book, but that's the reason why I gave you my phone. You want to talk? I'm the book, and I have it. I love this industry, and I know this. I made money from going every time you turn around. My philosophy was for you to work with me. Every 2 months you had to go somewhere and get some education in order to stay there to work with me. If you didn't, then you couldn't work with me.
Sounds like Olive Benson, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, don't we love Olive Benson? Now, Esther, you know what I'm gonna do, right, Esther? I'm gonna write that book. You know what I'm saying, Esther? I'm gonna pick that brain, Esther. I got you, Esther. Don't worry. I ain't gonna let him check up out of here without getting that knowledge, okay? We also have something wonderful, Cheryl, from Miss LaRaza. She says between the Afro Hair Summit and this platform, I've learned I've been miseducated. And I got ways to go, but she's enjoying the journey. And let me just tell you,
beautiful young woman with big dreams. Yeah.
And you're not alone. I thought I knew something, but I was coming into an epiphany in my career that I knew something was missing. And I started searching and I found Dr. Willie Morrow. So I personally can relate. And we want all professionals to know if you feel the same way that Miss LaRaza and I have felt currently right now, where you realize that you've been miseducated, you have family over here on the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. We are all in this together, and this is why we brought on Mr. Sharp. We're going to be back next week with a husband and wife team from Toledo, Ohio, who allowed us to teach the Afro Hair Summit in their facility last year. And that's Mr. and Mrs. Powell. And they are the owners of Toledo's historical, I think it's one of the oldest Black-owned beauty supply store. And I know Mr. Sharp. Are you familiar with Mr. and Miss Powell, Mr. Sharp?
Oh, yeah. We did classes together with Miss Powell.
Remember they came to the last one.
Oh, that's right.
They came to the last one. Mr. Sharp and my uncle Harold Morrow. They came.
Right. Yeah. So we hope you guys can see what we're trying to do. So if you are in the space where Miss LaRaza and I was and still are, and Mr. Sharp is telling us, we're never going to know everything, but we have got to get together. Mr. Sharp is going to train. He trains me. When I tell you he trained me, y'all, he trains me. And we're going to do this thing. This is not impossible. Yeah. And we need to get together and we need to get this education and get it right. And I think that's it. We were going to be back again. We're going to be back next week with Mr. and Mrs. Powell of the Powell's Barber and Beauty Supply. I think they are Toledo's oldest Black-owned barber and beauty. That's a professional supply store. I forgot to put that caveat in there. So please come back and join us. And we're also to those who asked for those blood types, I'm going to send those out tonight as soon as we're done.
You did get it, right?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp, I got that reform for you.
You got what for me, Cheryl?
I got that reform for you.
Oh, the reformer.
Yeah,
I got it for you.
We'll talk.
Okay. He like Mr. Sharp, like we got you.
You got to get it at the Reverend's design team. I'm gonna send it to Pluto.
Hey, talk with Ladosha, because Ladosha knows the stuff that you use. Oh, I'm saying the wrong thing.
That's okay. This is what we want you guys to know. We're doing this here. And just to let everybody know, if you are from Cleveland or you're nearby, this is our last pitch. We are going to be doing this the last Sunday of every month. So get ready. This is for the barber and beauty industry, for all of us to get together. Check it out for the free. Here it goes. All right. The industry fete du jour. Chill, connect, converse. Good music and a good time featuring the DJ, H2 Pro Flat Irons, the Rev Air, hairstylists, barbers, nail techs, makeup artists, and friends. Be here, not there. come. You know what? We're going to hang out the last Sunday of every month. Barbers, cosmetologists, nail techs, makeup artists, salon owners, school owners, cosmetology students. Come to the hair salon. It's free. It's sponsored by the Beauty and Barber Collective, Beauty Under One Roof, and Schoolhouse Productions. We're going to chill. We're going to feature some technology. It's wonderful. We're going to have some snacks. Just come and hang out. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're not collecting any email addresses unless you want to give it to us. But it's for the free because, like Mr. Sharp said, we have got to come together and be connected. All right. So with that being said, Mr. Sharp, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for giving us some of Cleveland's finest Black history. All the licensed professionals in the chat are looking forward to your classes coming up. And I'm going to work with you on that book. And I will call you tomorrow. Cheryl, I love you with all of my heart. As you know, you was about to make me cry, girl. You was about to make me cry. I know y'all saw. I was going to start crying. And everybody over on Instagram, there are no words to thank you. Sharing Salon Secrets, Gangsta Scooter. I mean, everybody over on Instagram. And then, of course, right here on YouTube, our de facto producer, Miss Esther Taylor, Tristan National, Rashida, Maurice Wike, who said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, our de facto producer, Matta Flair. I see you in the chat, Miss Esther T. Hicks. And then, of course, we also, I said my brother, we had Eleanor, just everybody, Lawana. So thanks, you guys, so very much. We will be back next week with Mr. and Mrs. Powell, the owners of Powell's Barber and Beauty Supply, continuing with our Black History Report, the Barber and Beauty edition. Black, that is.
You always welcome, Mr. Sharp.
Oh, wait, hold on. Say that again, Mr.
I have a ton of information I would like to share with people about the profession of doing hair. And a lot of things I don't know, things have changed. But I'll be glad to share the best that I can, the best way that I can. So hope to be the calls again.
Yes, we are. We're going to, Cheryl is working on a series regarding Annie Turbo Malone. So we will definitely have you come back during that time when we have her on. Maybe you can help us, welcome and bringing her in. So yes, we would love to have you back, and everybody surely enjoyed you. So thank you so much, and you all have a wonderful night. We'll see you Monday back here at 6:00 p.m. Y'all know we say we're signing out, right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.